The heroic art of Fire Emblem, best known for their tactical gameplay with their stories taking place in a medieval war setting. There are many installments in the franchise and they are almost all well received. Today we're going to look at their character design, concept art and illustrations from Fire Emblem Awakening, Path of Radiance and Radiant Dawn. Fire Emblem Awakening is the 13th game in the series and introduced a unique duel system, including a marriage system for a great set of characters. The story takes place approximately 2000 years after the events of Fire Emblem's Shadow Dragon and Blade of Light. It starts off with Robin's lucid dream about a man being murdered during an unimportant battle. Nevertheless, this man is known as Prince Chrom, and he wakes Robin up from the dream and asks to join his army. As the shepherds expand their military power, they will confront the Plagia's force, who are aided by the undead Risen. During a battle, Chrom and his younger sister Lissa get in a pinch, but right before the tension is at its peak, get rescued by a masked sword fighter. He, just like Chrom, wields the falchion and claims to be the king of legend, Marth. For unknown reason, he sometimes aids the shepherds in their battle. Soon after, Chrom's older sister and queen of Lees, Amarin, gets captured by the Mad King Gangrel. He wants to exchange her for the Fire Emblem. Nevertheless, as Chrom almost accepts this handover, she throws herself off a cliff. After a giant strike, the shepherds free the continent of Lees. Later on, when Chrom inherits the throne, he gets married and becomes father, returning peace to the kingdom. But all is not as it seems, as the Emperor Walhart von Valm threatens to invade and steal the last Fire Emblem. Nevertheless, the mysterious sword fighter revisits and tells Chrom that her name is Lucina and that she is his daughter from another timeline. Together they bond their strength to change history. The character designs are, as we have seen in most Fire Emblems, well put together. This is because the class system is well defined and sets characters whose personalities are based on, for example, a paladin, well in their conventional role. Even though some characters may look similar due to their armor types, this game is designed to change job effectively, which gives you the freedom to personalize them as well. You can see they stepped up a notch on the character outfits compared to the older games, although this is not a fair comparison due to the limitations of older consoles. It is clear that the artists use more creative freedom in their designs and details. Personally, I find the line art a marvel to look at, as it shows that its mature style fits the narration of the game. The illustrations are light-toned and mostly contains a semi-direct light-dark edge for the shadows. You can see this edge mainly on the hair, where the highlights and dark shadows cut each other off. The contrast is quite high, especially on the characters wearing black clothes. Contrary, in some cases the contrast is lacking, which makes the characters seem unfocused. That said, even though the line art is mainly the same, when you look closely you can see the difference in character artists. Just for fun, we'll zoom in at these two for example. Look at the highlights and shadows. One is direct, other gradient. As the Fire Emblem series have a wide span of styles, the production quality is always top notch for its time. Fire Emblem Path of Radiance is the 9th game in the series. It was the first to use voice acting and added a 3-dimensional perspective to its gameplay. The story starts with Ike fighting for his father in his band of mercenaries. During one of his missions he rescues Princess Elincia, who narrowly escaped the massacre of her whole family. Soon after, the ones responsible, the Dane army, attacks Ike's mercenary group. The battle doesn't end well and they are forced to flee. Despite this turn of event, they are pursued by the Black Knight, a powerful fighter who kills Ike's father in a duel. As the campaign rages on, Ike and Elincia work together and drive the Dane forces out of Crimea. Doing so, they will face a lot of hardships, such as the long-held racial tensions between the Bjork and the shapeshifters the Lagoos. The latter are in the minority due to a genocide known as the Serenes Massacre. Nonetheless, Ike quickly gains new members that will expand his army to a force to be reckoned with, all to defeat their true enemy, Ashnard. He is the king of Dane, and the one that schemes to release the Dark Deity. Most of the main character designs have a youthful manga vibe to them. The color schemes reminds me of acrylic paint, as the tones have a clear gradient from light to dark. Most manga styles use a direct contrast instead of gradually changing. The advantage is that you have more control to emphasize shapes and forms, such as the spherical planes on a piece of armor. If you compare the art with Awakening, we can clearly see the difference in coloring style. The body composition is normal human size, except for the legs and especially for the female characters, who are on the taller end of the spectrum. Nevertheless, this is quite common and doesn't bother me at all. Fire Emblem Radiant Dawn is the 10th game in the series and increased the graphical prowess from its predecessor. The story starts 3 years after the Mad King's War. This time around we follow the Dane Empire that was defeated and is due to the loss of their king occupied by the Bagnian Empire. Although still officially in control of Queen Elincia, The Dane people are oppressed by the Imperial soldiers and corrupt Senate. Micaiah, a former fortune teller and now leader of the rebel group known as the Dawn Brigade, tries to do everything in her power to fight back. She works together with her long-lost friend, Soft, but was soon forced to flee from the capital into the desert. Here, they encounter the Heron Prince Raphael and the Wolf Lagoon's Queen Nelia. When they combine their forces with former King Ashen's orphan son, Peleus, the group launched a guerrilla attack on the occupating army, in the hope to liberate Dean and its former imprisoned soldiers. This time around, some characters such as Ike are a lot more mature. Even though the game takes place 3 years later, the difference is quite big. All of the former cast have these new looks. You can see this by their eye level compared to the center of the face. The higher it is, the more mature the character appears. Personally, I don't mind this change. I mean, we need to know years have passed and it's cool to see they have grown, next to wearing a different outfit. The coloring style did not change much. It only became a bit lighter toned. And as far as I could tell, the line art and body composition stayed the same. These are some additional art of the Fire Emblem series. Here we can see many of the main characters drawn in different styles. Most of them are from the Fire Emblem Awakening art book, as it contained a feature to include former characters and play additional chapters with them. I'm fantasy light novel author G.P. First, currently looking into the Art of Bravely Default series, from Akiko Yoshida, a game series with an excellent take on the job system. And be sure to check out my books on my author page and subscribe to my channel for regular in-depth styles of manga artists of our favorite video games.